Yes, people. Just wanted just to say, firstly, this is an honor right now. You know, we've got a boxing legend right now, and I just wanted just to thank Nigel, Adrian in the back end, just for having this opportunity to speak with John H. Stracey, MBE. For me, he's a fighter that not a lot of people in my age, I'm 35 years old, that knows about. So I just wanted to just have this platform just to get, I would say, just to educate, the community about, how great you are. And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much for being with us today. We really do appreciate it.
I enjoyed
We've
it.
actually got his title that he's won, in Mexico City, caused one of the biggest upsets in British history. So, John H. Stacey,
thank
MBE,
you.
thank you so much for joining us on another
pleasure.
special boxing roundup.
It's been lovely. I've enjoyed today.
So, yes, your belt here, right here, people. This is legendary right now. So, God bless John H. Stacey for this opportunity,
Thank you.
for holding this legendary WBC belt. But yes, how are you doing today?
Very well. Yeah, great. It's nice to be here as well. It's lovely place.
No, it's good to have you. And look, I just wanted this chance to mainly just educate people on what you've been able to do in boxing. I was very young. I didn't watch you when I was younger.
Well, you wasn't born when I
wasn't born when you was
so,
boxing, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate. One of, I suppose quite a few boxers, but one of to win everything I ever went in for. Although I didn't win the Olympics, I boxed in the Olympics, but every other title I ever won, whatever I went in for. So I can't never say that I didn't do my best, because I tried all the time and won everything. So I'm blessed to be one of them who's won everything. So, and that is it. You can't do no better than that. And luckily I retired when I was 27, because I'd won everything by then.
Wow, yeah.
And I didn't carry on to fight all the time.
Yeah.
Started doing other things. But, I think you've got to know when to retire in any sport, but certainly boxing.
Yeah.
And when you see boxing today, and you see how long they're fighting for, it can be very, very tough, very hard. And luckily, I've retired quite young, and so I've always been doing other things. I didn't rely on boxing all the time, which a lot of people do. Started doing other things, singing and stuff like that, business, and it's been great, yeah.
That is
Can't
amazing.
complain.
No, that is amazing. And when I was sort of going back and just doing my research, because as I said, way before my time you was fighting, you mentioned you've obviously done everything in boxing, from the traditional route of being a British champion, European champion. You obviously became WBC champion, that famous fight in Mexico City. You've gone over to the enemy's territory. And not only did you go in there and win it, but we was talking off air, you actually was told something 15 years ago that you didn't even find out. So please just educate, the community on what you just found out maybe just 15 years ago, in fact.
What, winning?
When you won the WBC.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it was see, in them days, I boxed. I had 51 fights altogether.
Yeah.
I won 45, drew 1, lost 5, and I had an 82.2% knockout, which is one of the best in welterweight history. I don't know how far it is in British history, but it's certainly one of the best. But that doesn't mean anything. But I had 51 fights. I also did probably 284 rounds out of around 500. So but boxing, it's a wonderful sport. You have to be that way. You have to look that way. You can't look that way, that way.
Yeah.
You have to look forward, you know. You have to give it everything you can, because we always say, this is true story, this is true.
Yeah.
You can play football.
Yeah.
You can play cricket.
Yeah.
You can play basketball. You can play rounders. Play tennis, but you can't play boxing.
Yeah.
You either do it or you don't, because what is the point of getting hit if you're not going to give your whole lot to it? We can all do that and kick the ball, but when you're getting hit, it's serious. So, you know, I focused on that. That's what I focused on. And it was just something that I wanted to do. And it kept me out of trouble, because as a kid, you know, you get in lots of trouble. And yeah, so I achieved everything I ever went in for, professionally and amateur. So I won every title as an amateur. But, you know, you just go for it, and if it can work, it can work. But I did really give it the best I could give. And I think by retiring a lot younger than some people do, I mean, at 27, some people, I mean, I had 132 amateur fights and 51 prime, and I still retired young, whereas a lot of people carry on. I mean, some are fighting at 40 years of age now, 45.
I was going to ask you
and
that,
they're not going to be well later on, you know? So I've come across all that. I've got out of that. So, yeah, everything's fine. I mean, I achieved everything I ever achieved, and I'm very happy. And singing has always been in my blood. I won talent competition when I was a kid. I wanted to be a singer, but was always in trouble, fighting, getting in trouble. And boxing's helped me to be on the straight and narrow. So it's something I'll always cherish. It's not like iBox years. You know, when you look at the boxing today, it's 12 rounds, not 15.
Yeah.
It's totally different now. But you still got to go in there and punch. And people don't realise, you know, you're taking in punches, how tough it is. It really is tough. But, you know, you just got to go for it. You've got to go for everything in life, haven't you? If you're a footballer, you're going to give it 100%. If you're a cricketer, you're going to give it 100%, you know. So you've got to go for it. But boxing, I think, is a sport that, unless you do it, you don't know what boxing's about. Because, you know, you're getting hit. And some people, when they get hit, even they could be a good fighter, they go, oh, finish with that.
Yeah.
But I didn't. It was like, well, I'm going to hit you now. You know, and I think that what I did. And being small, as a kid growing up, I was getting in lots of fights, you know, because I was small, they go, yeah, look. And I go, bang, don't you do that, you know, and hit them back because they were bullies. And that's really gave me a grounding that I wasn't going to be taken like that. And boxing just come out of me, so I was well pleased, you know, to do what I done.
No, that is tremendous.
So
that is absolutely amazing.
But anyway, it's something that I cherished. I did it 100%. You can't mess about with boxing. You either do it or you don't. There's no in between. Because why would you want to get hit if you're not going to be serious about it? Exactly. You know. So that's the way I looked at it in the end, and I went forward to win everything I did. But I'm always thankful for boxing, because it gives me stability. It's helped me with being who I am, talking to people. And you know the greatest thing? To meet all the boxers. We meet every year at the events. All world champions, British champions, and you don't see one bit of trouble. Not one bit of trouble do you ever see with boxers. All friends, we all hug each other. How you doing? Because, you know, you're in the ring doing that. Why do you want to do it outside?
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thankful for boxing. And I always say boxing doesn't owe me anything, but I owe everything to boxing. Because without that, I would not be here. So that's the way I look at it. And, you know, it's a tremendous sport. Very tough, of course. Can get hurt. We've seen people get killed.
Yeah, I've seen a lot,
You know, and this is a funny thing. People say, if you knew you were going to, one of you was going to get hurt or killed on the night, would you still box? And 100% yes, you would. Because that's in your blood. It's either you or him, the way you look at it. I mean, I don't go in there to kill anybody, and they don't go in there to kill me. But you go in there to hurt, because that's what boxing's about. If something does happen, that's unfortunate. But you've got to give it 100% or don't do it at all. You know, that's what boxing's about.
That's powerful. That
And
is absolutely powerful.
as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's and it taught me everything. It's taught me everything. Be nice, you know, don't take liberties. But boxing's a great leveler in life.
That was amazing.
And I'm grateful for boxing. And like I say, boxing doesn't owe me anything. I owe everything to boxing. Because without that, I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that.
That is amazing, and that's what kind of led me on to this question as well. What advice would you give young aspiring boxers like today? Because boxing's a different sport to how it was when you was fighting.
It's a lot different now. I mean, well, when I was boxing, you got weighed in on the day. You weighed in on the 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You weighed in. If you're a little bit over your weight, you had to do a bit of skipping to lose a bit of weight.
Yeah.
And then you made your weight, and then 8-9 hours later, you're fighting. So you can't put on any weight. Now it's so different because you can weigh in on a Thursday, you can put £10 on the one day, £10 on the next, and still fight for a welterweight title a stone heavier. It's ridiculous. But that's the way. People don't know that now. They can't help it. It's not their fault. It's what they're into now. In our day, it was all done on a day, you know. 15 rounds, 12 rounds. Now it's you know, you're fighting 12 rounds. It's totally different. But the one thing you can't do, you can have good gloves. You can try and help people as much as you can in boxing, but it's very difficult because boxing you go out to really hurt someone, and you try and keep it safe as you can, but what's safe when you're trying to knock someone out or they're trying to knock you out? It's so different. You know, you go in there to hurt someone. That's what it's about. Afterwards, you're friends for life, and you cuddly, you know, come here. And every time you see your boxers, you come here. Whether you box them or not, it's such an amazing sport. And no trouble. You know, I've gone to many events, boxing events, over the years. Go to the Boxing Hall of Fame in America, the British Boxing Hall of Fame. All you see is all the boxers hugging because they're not fighting. That's it. And that's why it's a great sport, because it's an honest sport. You go in there as dignity and you give it your all. And if you don't give your all, don't do it. But, you know, a lot of sports you don't have to be like that. But boxing, you have to be so efficient, so aware of anything. You know, you've really got to give it 100%, which I did, and I, you know, and like I say, boxing don't owe me nothing, but I owe everything to boxing, because without that, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. You know, that's why it's a fabulous sport, and we love it. You know, it's something that we, and like I said, if someone says you're going to die tonight, one of you still go in there, because that's what you are. You're that fighter. You're a warrior. You've got to do it, you know. And I wouldn't go in there unless. And if I took a chance, I'd say, okay, either one. If that was to happen, okay. If it happened, it happened. But I'd go for it. You know, you got to give it 100%. And everyone I know in boxing, some of the boxers we meet, I mean, world champions, you're going, hello.
Who would you say is the most funniest character you've met during the
incredible.
During the conference?
I mean, when I go to the Hall of Fame and I see all the boxers, I mean, you know, I boxed in the Olympic Games with George Foreman when I was a young lad, and every time I went to the Boxing Hall of Fame in America, we'd meet up. We'd be hugging each other because we boxed. I was 18 when I fought. He was 20. And we were like young kids. And I boxed one of his friends. But over the years, you grow up to be and we're hugging each other. You know, two boxers hugging each other, almost kissing each other. Come here, come here.
Yeah.
Because you ain't seen them for years, you know. And then, well, every year. And it's just an amazing sport. It's the most probably honest sport there is.
Yeah, I would say
because
so.
you go in there to win. Everyone wants to win. If you lose, you take it on the chin, as we say. Well, he beat me. Simple as that. And that's what boxing's about. It's the most honest sport. And yeah, so as I say, I owe everything to boxing. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for boxing.
Oh, definitely.
So, and you know, achieved everything. So I'm happy with that.
You have, and you've, just looking at your career, you've had a tremendous career, in my opinion, and the fact that you've been able to just leave the sport, you know, early to pursue your other dreams is great. So who, like, growing up, who was your greatest boxer in your mind? Like,
in my mind, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray,
he was the greatest pound for pound there's ever been. Ali says it, all the boxers say it, and whenever I go to the Hall of Fame now, see boxers, his name comes up more than anybody in boxing. He was my hero.
Wow.
I mean, there's never been anyone in my mind as good as him.
What made him so special?
Well, first of all, he wanted to be a dancer. He didn't want to be a singer. He didn't want to be a boxer. He wanted to be a dancer. But at 12 or 13, he started boxing. And he got the name of Ray Robinson. What happened, he borrowed a card off of a kid, a medical card. His name was Ray Robinson. And his name, I've just forgotten his name, but he Walker Smith Jr.
Yeah,
Walker Smith Jr. was his real name.
Yeah.
Walker Smith Jr. And he borrowed the card because he had to have the card. And they give it to the, you know, people, and then they said, right. And when he got in the ring, they said, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
And then in the blue corner, whoever, and he won. And so the kid said, "God, you might as well keep the card." And he called himself Ray Robinson from there.
Wow.
And then how he got the name was Sugar, was he was boxing one day, training in a gym, and he's doing all this stuff, and someone said, "That kid, he's unbelievable. He's as sweet as sugar, that kid."
Yeah.
And the trainer went, "Oh my God." And that's how he got his name, Sugar Ray Robinson. And you know, he had 85 amateur fights, never got beat once. He had 40 first round knockouts.
Wow.
Then he went 40 without defeat, lost to Jake LaMotta on points, then went 92 without defeat, and beat Jake LaMotta 5 times after that. And he was winning the world title, the third title, the light heavyweight title, easy. He was winning that, and because of the heat on the night, he collapsed in the ring. It got in the corner, couldn't move, and he lost the fight. But he was winning on all scorecards, and the referee was substituted. Ruby Goldstein. It's the only time in boxing history that a referee's been substituted. After 10 rounds, he couldn't move. It was 102, 103 degrees.
That's crazy.
And it was like, and they had to put another referee in.
That's mad.
And then he retired at 13 rounds, couldn't go on, couldn't do the other 2. And he just sat in his corner and lost the fight.
Imagine if it was a 12-round fight.
He was winning that fight on all scorecards. So he'd have been, you know, not only the welterweight title, and by the way, this is incredible. When he won the welterweight title, he had, after he won, he had 43 fights after he won that, but 5 were world titles, all the rest weren't. So imagine if they'd have been world titles, 43, he'd have held the title 43 times he'd have defended it.
Wow.
And then he went up to middleweight and won it. And then after that, he started being a tap dancer, moving around. And everyone laughing at him because they thought, well, what's he doing? He's a boxer. What's he doing that for? But he you know, he wanted to be a dancer.
Passion,
But he ended up boxing. And then he had to make a comeback because of the tax people. He owed $4 million and all that. And then he made light heavyweight, and that's when he fought and lost the fight where he was winning. So, you know, greatest ever fighter, in my view, of all time. And Muhammad Ali said the same thing.
Yep. Yeah.
So, oh, he's a wonderful man. My hero he was.
No,
Still is.
That's
And you want to
powerful.
see him skip and do hit the punch ball. It's a work of art. I couldn't be anywhere near it, and I don't think I've seen anyone get anywhere near it. He goes around it, circle, bang, 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 like you'd never believed. And then the skipping, he jumps all side to side, swishes it around, boom, 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 and then does it. He's just sensational. And my hero he was.
It's tremendous to hear because you know Sugar Ray Robinson he doesn't get enough credit for his razzle dazzle. He brought that first kind
That's
of
right.
boxing, and I think there was one point he had over 100 wins.
He did, yeah. He had. I think his career ended up something like 230 fights with only 3 losses, something like that. But they were extended losses, like 40, then got beat.
Yeah.
92 then got beat.
Yeah.
Then 60 odd got beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
It was going up like that. The man was a genius. And when I boxed in Vegas, he was watching.
No way.
Oh yes, he was. I haven't said this, by the way. He was watching, and when and he got the biggest cheer at Elvis Presley night, the biggest cheer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But this night, he's watching the fight, and as I was walking past him with my manager, Terry Lawrence, he got up and he went to me, "That was a brilliant fight. You won well." He said, "I think you can go all the way." And I went, "Oh," and I went in the dressing room, and my manager said, "Do you hear what he said?" I went, "I can't believe it." And I was running around that dressing room going, Did you hear what Ray was? I'm telling everyone. And they're all going, what? I said, I can go all the way. Oh my God. Honestly, that man was God. He was, and the most humblest guy you could ever meet. He got up, this is how he got up. He'd be watching the boxing, and then they called him up. Elvis Presley called him up. Well, I saw Elvis Presley the next night.
Yeah.
And Elvis Presley called him up.
Yeah.
And he got up and he went, and he was like this, like that. And then he sat down, and it was whoosh again. And then he's gone, he done it 5 times.
Wow.
5 times. People wouldn't stop. And he, like that, honestly, he was my hero. That man, greatest boxer of all time.
That's amazing.
In my view, greatest boxer of all time.
That is
and everyone
amazing.
says it. They always go, and there was a guy who was a writer, I can't think of his name, but a big writer in the Hall of Fame and everything, American. And every year they used to have a vote who was the best boxer of their time and all that.
Yeah.
And it was always 5, and they used to do 4, and Robinson was always number 1. They used to go 5. One could be 5. Next year it could be 3.
Yeah.
The other one could be 2. Next year it could be 4.
Yeah.
But when it comes to number 1, it was always Ray Robinson.
Yeah. That is amazing.
And he was amazing. He was. Oh God.
I might
and
have to
that-
watch some videos now. The way you've just got me
And
excited
also
again.
when he boxed, he said to his manager one night, he was in, he'd just done they had a meeting, and then he went up to his room and he had a dream that the guy who he boxed died.
Oh.
And so he said to his manager, he said, "Look, I don't want to fight." But why? He said, "I think I dreamt that he's going to die." No, don't be stupid. Like that, what are you doing? You don't think that. And that's what happened the next day. The guy died. I can't think of his name, but he died.
Yeah, I did hear
And
about that,
Ray
yeah.
Robinson, now, this will get you.
Yeah.
This will get you. Ray Robinson, he was so distraught, he still had to box, but his next 4 fights, he gave that man's wife the money.
What?
4 fights.
4
He
fights.
gave that man's wife, who the guy who died, gave her the money.
Wow.
Who does that?
No one does that.
No one does that.
No one.
He was as kind as man. And do you know he had to make a comeback because he owed $4 million in tax. they done him, and he had to make a comeback. And that's where he lost most of his fights.
Yeah.
He only ever got stopped once. That was that 13th round. But he only ever got stopped once. I mean, that man was and you want it. There's a fight that he hits this guy with a left hook, and you don't. They still slow it down and you can't see it. That's how quick it was. It was out of nowhere, bang, boom, like that. You know, it's like what Ali used to do. Ali used to go. You want to see me punch? And they go, yeah. And he go, do you want to see it again?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
But that's how Sugar Ray was. He was so fast and correct, and that, you know. And then he had to make a comeback, which was so sad, because he had nothing. You know, he had nothing. And oh God, I mean. I've watched him, I've seen him train, I've seen him on film training, and he skips side to side. It's like, you can't even do it.
Yeah.
And then he'll get the ball, and he'll be from there, going around the ball, like a circle. And then he jumps around, finishes jumping up, and then the skipping, he jumps side to side.
Yeah.
You've never seen anything like it. He was absolutely cracking. Oh, my God. He really was. So, yeah, he's my favourite.
No, I could understand why. And was, because of like his experience, was that one of your sort of drivers into retiring so young, because of what you've seen him
not
experience?
So much him, but I have seen other fighters carry on and carry on and carry on. And what it was with me, I mean, what happened was my mum always wanted me to be a singer. That's what my mum wanted, to sing.
Yeah.
And I did it a little while, you know, and then I said, my mum, I'm going to box. And she said, look, will you do me a favour, big favour? And I said, what's that, Mum? She said, I was 14. She said, will you retire young when you box?
Oh, bless.
And I said, yeah, I will, Mum. And she said, and she actually said to me, will you retire about 27? And I went, Mum, I think by then I'll win what I want to win, and I will, yeah. And I always kept that promise, and that's what I did.
Honourable man.
And that is absolutely true.
That's
my
honourable.
mum. And when I retired, I was laying in bed. I was having a fight. I was boxing for eliminator for European title, and I was laying in bed in Bethnal Green at home. I'm laying in bed, and then my dad said, "Come get up, training. You're training." And I went, "Dad, I'm retired." Wow. And he went, "What?" I said, "I'm not boxing. I'm supposed to box." And then my mum come walking in. She went, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and just walked out.
Wow, that's so powerful. No, that is
very powerful. It was. I mean, that was it. I finished by it.
But at least for me, the reason why it's such a sort of touching moment, because you've been able to just achieve what most people want to achieve. You know, British champion. You know, you then become European champion, WBC, and what a lot of people don't remember as well, you became the lineal champion because you beat the guy, Mpele, who was undefeated for 6 years, I believe, at that point.
Well, he was the undisputed champion, but then what happened was he was supposed to fight someone, but he just didn't fight him. So they took the WBA title off him. But he never fought for the WBA. You know, he had it, but he didn't defend it, and so they took that away from him. And the guy who was supposed to fight again didn't fight for quite some time. Wow. And then he just, you know, went up, and then I fought him after that and beat him. But Naples was a great fighter.
He was.
I mean, do you know he had 87 fights, lost 6. And
over 85.
And made 15 defences. I mean, you know, I couldn't have done that. I would never have been able to do that because it's too much anyway. You know, I mean, he never retired till he was 35.
Yeah.
And I couldn't carry on like that. I wouldn't do that. That was too much.
Wow.
You know, you got to know when to retire. And I just had enough of what I did. You know, when I say I had enough, I don't mean I didn't enjoy it, but you know, you've got to say enough's enough. So that's what I did.
You know what I wanted to find out actually, is there anyone from the past that you kind of thought, I missed a chance of fighting him, or I would have loved to fight him at the time?
I don't know really. I'm just trying to think. No, I can't say I did really. No, not really. I mean, what it was, there was a guy in my gym who I trained with, Ralph Charles, who was British champion, and I sort of was behind him a lot because of manager Terry Lawless managed him, and what happened was I sort of beat who he lost to. When he retired from being British champion, retired, but he'd lost to Roger Menetray, and I always said, "Don't worry, I'm going to beat him for you," and I did. And then Napoles, he boxed Jose Napoles, and he was you know, he got beaten that in 6 or 7 rounds, and then I said, you know, one day if I box him, I'll beat him, you know, for you. And it was, you know, you'd make little jokes of it, but that's what happened.
You did it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's like everything else. You go for everything you can, and I enjoyed everything I did. And you've got to enjoy it to want to do it. I didn't do it for the sake of anything else. I enjoyed it, but then I knew when to get out, and that's what you got to do. You know, you don't have to do it in many other sports because you're not getting
Punched
smashed,
in the face or smashed.
banged.
Yeah, banged. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can play cricket and stuff like that for as long as you like, but sort of football, you probably retire 35
nowadays.
But in boxing, I know they still carry on in boxing, but you shouldn't be going that long. It's so tough, you know. It's so hard, and you can really get hurt, you know. So I just figured 27, I've had enough. I told my mum 27.
Promised her.
And when I retired, thank God, and that was it. That was it. I never looked back. I was never jealous of anyone. Never, you know, winning titles or whatever. You just go along with what you've won and done in your life, and that's it. That's what I've done. I don't go, well, you see what you can do. I just, but strangely enough, in boxing now, I don't really watch it much now.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you have any fighters now that you kind of see?
I don't really.
You
No,
enjoy?
not really.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is it has changed so much. I mean, when I boxed in 51 fights, I never see any trouble at a weigh-in. Never see none of that.
Yeah.
Never see pushing each other.
Yeah.
Never see none of that.
Yeah.
We always shook hands and see you tonight like that.
Gentlemen's
Now
sport,
you see them, they're punching it, you know, hitting each other, punching, doing that, doing. Never did that. It was like, see you tonight, shake hands, you know. See, and if you lost, you lost. If you won, you won. And there was no jealousy or, you know, anything like that. Now it just seems to be a lot different to how I knew it. But you know, that's just the way it was.
Yeah, I actually saw online as well that, and RIP also to Ricky Hatton as well.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. We went to his funeral.
Yeah, that must have
my
been
wife,
a great experience, man. But
it was sad.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fighter he was.
What a fighter.
I mean, I remember him. I mean, he had something like 43, 44 fights straight off. I mean, that is incredible. And I think he had, a lot of defences.
He did.
And he was a really good lad, you know. But the thing about him, he just, I think, I don't think he could live without boxing. You know, he really was that associated to it so much, you know.
Yeah.
And he just sort of, I think that was it. He couldn't fight anymore. Well, he could fight. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he was supposed to be fighting that weekend, or they're going to make a fight that weekend.
He had exhibition.
But you know, you got to know when to retire. But Ricky obviously had issues, and we actually went to his funeral, and it was very, very sad. And but I will say, what a heart he had. He had one of the best hearts I've ever seen. He was so, so good. Went for it. I mean, where he boxed as well. In Vegas, winning how he did and beating the champions he did. I mean, we was at the world title fight when he boxed in Manchester for the world
Costa
title.
Zoo as well.
Costa Zoo, and he was tremendous.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just a sad thing that happened. And like I say, we went to his funeral, and we were all sitting there. Frank Bruno was there. There was quite a lot of boxers there, and we were all crying. You wouldn't believe it. It was all crying. Everyone. Yeah. It was horrible. Yeah. To go there and see that it wasn't great. But these things happen in life, and you have to just get on with what happens.
Yeah.
But Ricky will always be one of my favourite fighters because he was a totally British. Go for it, and that's what you've got to do. You have to do that in boxing. You just go for it. And he won everywhere. I mean, he won in America. Yeah. He won abroad a few times, and he also, he loved boxing in Manchester because he was a big Manchester lad. Yeah. And we went to see him a couple of times. He was brilliant, absolutely. But I used to see him train, go training, and see him in training, and he was fantastic. I mean, like we all are. We all do what we do. But he was brilliant. I mean, he's such a lovely boy, And it's a very sad thing, but that's,
Yeah, one of the things that I did love about Ricky was the audience that he always brought, especially Vegas. I don't think
10,000.
I don't think I've seen a Brit bring so many, British people to a fight, especially abroad.
Oh,
I know Tyson Fury was a bit close.
He had a tremendous following. Even when he fought in Manchester, he'd sell out the stadium.
Easily.
He could sell out the stadium easy because, that was his place of they worshipped him. They absolutely adored him, And he was an honest boy, honest fighter. But it's just, as I say, we went to his funeral and it was so sad to see his family and everyone in distress about it all. But these things happen in life, and we just have to get on with what we're about and what happens in life.
100%. No, and I agree with you completely. And it's that's one of the things that kind of touched me as well, is that he was an honest fighter, but I also see the same in yourself, where you knew when the limit was.
Oh,
but at the same time, you
were able to inspire. Well, a lot of people can't give up a sport. Yeah. They just carry on, and a lot of fighters carry on, and you've got to go out because you can't keep taking that punishment. Because people don't realise you'd be training in the gym 10, 15 times more than you would be for your fight. Yeah. So someone in my day, when you'd done 15 rounds, I'd be sparring 150 rounds for that one fight. And you'd have 3 or 4 opponents training with you, 3 or 4 sparring partners. Yeah. And we'd do a 15 rounder for one night, and then the rest you'd be doing 10, 8s, like that, with all the other fighters that you're paying. Because that's what you had to do. And it's not the boxing that you're doing on the fight of the night, it's the training you're doing. That's what the killer is. Yeah. That's where you're taking the punishment, because you're sparring, as I say, 10, 12 rounds a night. And you do that for 2 months, 6, 7 weeks. That's like 140 rounds, 150 rounds a fight. Yeah. Before you've even boxed. And then you've got to get in there and have the fight, and the damage you can have in the gym. And sometimes when you're sparring with people and you're paying them, they think, well, I'm going to really hit you because you're paying me to hit you. Yeah. But, and that's another thing you've got to contend with, doing that. When you're paying someone, they're going to go, oh, So that's another thing you've got to contend with. So you're not only having all that sparring and your training, then you've got your fight on the night. You know, it's not like football or cricket. You know, you can put any, not taking nothing away from anybody doing whatever sport. But if it's not a blow sport, it's going to be a lot easier than taking punishment in the face all the time or in however you get hit. So, yeah, it's a tough old sport.
It's a tough old sport, no, definitely. Obviously, I don't want to take too much of your time, but there's one thing I wanted you to speak about as well, that we actually spoke about off air as well. You didn't mention about Jose Sulaiman, you know, giving you that biggest hug in the world because of the history. So just let me know.
Yeah, Jose Mpele.
Yes.
Sorry,
Jose Sulaiman.
Jose Sulaiman. Sorry, I didn't mean
yeah.
that. Yeah, well, I was his first champion.
Yes.
And what happened was he got a doctor degree. It was in the 90s, I think about 94, 95. And I'd won in, 90, about 90. And I'd won in 75. Yeah. So 15 years later, and we're in this place in London, the West End, where he's getting his doctorate degree, you know. Yeah. And he's walked in with this lovely...
robe?
Yeah, like a robe. Yeah, beautiful robe.
Yeah.
And he's got his tie on. And it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's about 30 boxers, all top boxers, all shaking his hand. And he's walking out doing that. And the next thing, he's just grabbed hold of me. And he's put his arms around me. And I'm thinking, what's he doing? Yeah. And he's put his ear to my ear and he's gone, You're my first champion. My first champion. Stracey Johnson. You're my first champion. And I was going like, wow, like that, you know. Yeah. And then afterwards we spoke. And then I realised that he got inducted as the president on the 5th of December, 75. And the next day I won the world title on 75. So the 6th, I was the very first champion that he ever had. And I've got a piece of, I've got a write-up where he talks about when he had boxers under him, like Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier and all that. And he says, and my first champion, John H. Stracey. Oh, my God. I've got that in the write-up. I mean, how'd you get... That's got to be fantastic, isn't it?
Legendary. That's
legendary, yeah. My first champion, John H. Stracey. Oh, my God, yeah. And, you know, when we used to meet every year after that, and then we went to the Hall of Fame, Kathy would be with me every time we go. Yeah. And you see him, and he would come straight over to me and grab me and go, my first champion, my first champion. Yeah. Like that, honestly. And I used to go, oh, like that, you know. But eventually you become so proud. And then he was in a wheelchair, which, you know, fortunately he died not long after. And I used to walk him around with it. And he'd be going to people, my first champion. And I'm pushing him in the wheelchair. I mean, how marvellous is that?
That's tremendous.
He was one real great man. And he really fought for a lot of fighters, you know. He gave his all. He'd tell them, you know, no. Not the fight, but people. No, not him, no. You know, and he was brilliant. I mean, what a man he was. And we sadly went to his funeral when he came up. They had, obviously in Mexico he had one, but they had one in Britain, in London. And we went to that, and what a day that was. But and I got up and sang. I sang My Way, because that's his favourite song, My Way. So I sang My Way.
Amazing.
And he was one great man. And very, very sad. Wow. But I'm always in conjunction with his son Mauricio now as the president. Yeah. And funny enough, when we used to go to the Hall of Fame, Mauricio would be walking him around, but then he'd go, John, and I'll get on, and I'd take him in, and Mauricio would go, like that.
Legend.
Ah, fantastic.
No, you're an absolute legend. And
Ah,
once
well,
again,
it's very
thank
nice of you to say so.
Thank you so much.
I've
for
enjoyed it.
just-
It's been brilliant.
Yeah, for just giving me this opportunity, because not only are you sort of educating me, but you're educating an audience that's same age as me. They haven't
you.
watched you box, and I'm hoping that after this,
Get
you
a
go
few
back,
fights.
get a few fights on,
Yeah.
especially that fight in Mexico City that
Oh,
you made history,
giant.
and you obviously became,
Yeah.
you know, the first
World
for you know, Jose Sulaiman.
Yeah.
So credit
very
to
proud of
yourself,
that.
credit to your wife, credit to Nigel, who obviously prepared this. Adrian, thank you so much for the opportunity.
you.
And it's a massive honor. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Incredibly brave and game challenger tries to box. And Stracey keeps having to come back and come back at him. And he won't go down. This must be the end. Harry gets